Okay, welcome to another episode of Talk It Out. Okay, this week we are going to talk a little bit more about emotions, right? And I think in our last podcast, we actually discussed about communication,
Yes, that's right.
right? And we also found out that actually emotions is what drives all the actions behind, right?
Yes.
So this week we are going to discuss a little bit more on how to use your emotions, why do you feel certain emotions,
Yep.
and how you can use it to your advantage, right? I think emotions is something that most people feel it's a double-edged sword.
I think also emotions is something a lot of people feel like they don't have control over.
Yeah,
Yeah, then they do certain actions and they find like, oh, no choice. At that moment in time, I like that. That's why I do this.
LL 咯.
Then 冇变咯，做了怎样
Yeah.
Then
So I
yet
think-
another thing happen.
And so I think for emotions itself, different emotions arise for different reasons, right?
Yep.
And emotions is just there as a personal thought, as a sensor to allow us to know what's good, what's bad, what's dangerous, what's safe, right? And gives us that gut feeling. Should I do this? Should I not? Or how to do certain things.
Right.
So I think the more common emotions that we have right now would be anger,
Yep.
happiness. Happiness not so much. Not honestly, not many people know how to feel happiness. I wouldn't say feel, but experience happiness.
Correct. I think they don't even know to detect happiness. or happy but don't know.
Like that,
Or don't even know whether they're happy or not.
like my father lah. In the past. Yeah, so I think for emotions wise we can categorize them. Because a lot of times when we talk about emotions, whether is it a positive emotion or a negative emotion, I think that's a very structured manner of looking at it.
Yes.
How do you define what like positive emotion is?
Wow. If you ask me, I mean, layman terms positive emotion means emotions that make me feel good. And after that, feel good means whatever that I do after that, good lah. For example, like, I have my favorite cup of coffee on a Sunday or enjoying good music. Then that day I feel very shocked. Then actually, suddenly, example, my kid says something that actually normally maybe I would have been annoyed, but my feeling very good that day. I'm happy. Then it's okay lah. Hey, you spill the coffee on the floor, it's fine lah. Then to me that is a positive emotion. And negative will be the opposite way, whereby makes you very feel very suppressed, or like the tightening of the chest, very upset, very pek, and then whatever you do after that, the actions become negative lah. Whether it transmutes to you feel like punching someone, like sometimes the uncle that kind of feeling, or you start to scold someone verbally or whatever, then that's what I would categorize as negative.
So am I right to say that the outcome of the emotion is what determines whether is it good or bad? Because just now you mentioned that you have a cup of coffee, you feel very good, right? Then
Yes.
I don't scold my son. Anything goes, man.
Yeah, anything goes.
Yeah. So that is the outcome,
Correct.
right? Then you talk about the negative emotion being when you have to go and scold somebody, flip some tables, break some glass. So that is the outcome that usually we tie to certain emotions.
Agree. I think most of the time, majority of us will be like that lah. Our actions are defined by whatever emotions we feel prior to the action.
So I feel whether or not an emotion is positive or whether or not an emotion is negative is determined by the outcome.
Right.
Yep. Because I think anger, fear, nervousness, all these emotions have been taking a very bad rap
Yes.
for being negative emotions. Then a lot of children now are being taught, these negative emotions, I don't want to experience it.
Right.
End up it's being suppressed.
Agree?
Right? So kids, sometimes they are angry that I cannot say I'm angry because it's a negative emotion. Or I cannot show that I'm scared. I cannot show that I'm nervous.
Right.
Right? But it's about the outcome behind it.
Mm.
Because ultimately it's just human to feel anger. It's just human to feel scared.
Yes.
And all these emotions are there just for one very simple reason. To protect us.
For example?
I mean, if you are fearful of something, it means that whatever that you're going to do may kill you. That's why you are scared. Or whatever that you are about to do, you have not done it before.
It's like
So
the fear of the unknown in that sense.
So it allows you to be more careful.
Right.
So the outcome is that you are more careful. But if you remove fear completely, right, you're just going to be damn reckless. Jump from the top of the building, oh no fear, woo!
No, but I feel what you're saying, right? So for example, I also know that like anger derives from fear.
Yep.
Right? But then again, I think it's about being aware that these emotions, right, actually acts as sensors or signals to us.
Yeah.
Because for example, if I feel fearful, right, like what you're saying, right, fear, so it means that I should be more cautious towards something.
Yeah.
But then yet again, there are some people that 我很怕and then 一直讲很怕
I mean,
keep scared.
that's the
Keep fear.
overly fearful. So why I say the outcome is important is because when we use it correctly, it should help us to function, am I right?
True.
If it's stopping us from functioning, then we are not using it correctly.
Right.
Yeah, so for example, for anger, what does anger show you? Anger shows you that there's something that you need to protect.
Yep.
Because you won't get angry at something that's not important.
Right.
It's just trying to show you that whatever that topic is, whatever that subject matter is, there's something for you to protect there.
So can I also then conclude that in that sense, if we are feeling angry, instead of just letting it explode, right, and followed by whatever actions that come behind, it's about recognizing, anger is here, and being aware that, when I'm angry, actually what am I doing? I'm fearful of something, or is it I'm trying to protect someone or something or some place, or is it my sense of justice being questioned, and then to work on ourselves in that sense.
Yes.
So rather than just exploding and say like, wow, when I'm angry it comes, it's more of, what am I angry about? We really got to question ourselves. What am I angry about? Why am I angry? When do I have the ability to recognize that, my anger is coming, right? Are you implying that?
Yes. Because there's also a very fine line between being complacent and being competent.
Okay.
Right? Some people say, never mind, I don't care about anger, I don't care about this, means I know how to navigate anger. But if you really know how to, then it's the outcome you want, something that you want, right? Is the outcome something that you want? And is the outcome something that is desirable for you? Right? So a lot of times when we are going through this process, it's about being truthful as well. When we go and look deep inside our emotional states. What are the emotions that we usually experience? What are the emotions that is constructive to us? What are the emotions that is destructive to us? Even happiness, there's a destructive happiness, you know that?
For example?
You being complacent and happy about everything.
Then actually not having anything and being useless.
Yeah lah. Okay lah, never mind lah. They still need to be happy ma. I don't get good grades, I'm happy about it.
Yeah. I
don't
get it
achieve
from
what
this
I
angle.
want, I'm happy about it.
Right.
That's a destructive emotion altogether again. So I think what I want to drive at is really the awareness of what emotions is. Because a lot of people that I talk to, they only know how to experience it. They don't know how to be aware of how to use it. Then it ends up becoming, life pushed me this way. And because of certain situations, then I'm in a certain position or I'm in a certain state now.
Agree. I think majority of the people now, what we are facing is that due to certain situations or outcomes, then it lead us to experience certain emotions, and then we see these emotions as the stop point.
Yeah.
But what we are trying to share now is that instead of emotions being the stop point, you could actually remove this barrier, and there is something to be done after that. For example, if you are angry with something, and if you are aware of why you are angry, and find the root cause of where this anger arises, then you can know what are the next steps I can take after I have felt this anger or after I have felt this sadness. For example, like we break up, feel sad, feel like the bottom of the well, right? Then what next? You're gonna sit down and wallow in pity and like, oh, bro, you're so poor thing. It takes time to get over a relationship, and then does it become an excuse and you continue feeling sad?
Correct.
Are you intentionally putting yourself in a place where you feel a elongated sense of sadness? Or now you know that, this sadness is because maybe I've lost something I once treasured, but why did I lose it? I think it's to dive deep, right? And to understand better, like, why did I lose it? What was it that I cherished? What could I have done better? And then,
is there something that I can do to prevent it from happening again?
Correct. Prevent it from happening, or, improving a certain situation.
Definitely. So I think it's more of the self-improvement.
Yes.
In the past, when I look at emotions, it's really about just blaming everyone else, because our brain is made in a way not to harm us.
Yes.
It's made in a way to protect us, even if it's taking responsibility for something or taking blame for something. I mean, the negative way of saying it is taking the blame for it, but the more positive way of looking at it is really about taking responsibility. What are things that you can control? What are things that you can do now to make a change, to make a shift, to move forward? Because when a lot of people they always say, 没有办法，我变 LL. Then what's next? Don't need to live in life. Don't need to continue living. Don't need to continue doing. Right? When there was a point in time in my life where I nearly got what do you call that? Nearly got prosecuted for mis-selling.
Mis-selling. So mis-selling what?
Insurance.
Okay.
Right. I think insurance in Singapore is so regulated, whereby we need to take so many papers, we need to do so many things before we can sell a client insurance. And for a good 2 years of my life, right, I kept living in fear. I kept living in, never mind I'm worthless anyway. And I kept avoiding a lot of things because of this fear. And it's really to sabo one. Like 如果我要骗你的钱 ，come on 嘛，我骗你几十块或几百块的 commission， 好吧？我们也是要骗那种几 million 几亿，
对
，few billion worth it 嘛？为了几千块的 commission，it's not even 几千 ，it was $1,000 per month, for 15 or 20 years. Then that one would translate to about a commission maybe 3,000. Worth it, man?
Total lah.
Total. Because of that, go to jail, worth it, man? Because of that, 我骗你 worth it, man? But at that point in time, I lived in fear. I didn't trust myself. I didn't know what I can do.
And so
I kept blaming everyone else around me.
Right. And it's also from this fear that you didn't dare to try new things.
So that is why I want to talk about emotions. Because if we don't know how to process the emotions properly or well enough, I could have got out of that shit much earlier. But because I don't know how to process it now, I just continue living like, never mind, I'm worthless, I don't worth shit. And continue believing that, because the world did this to me, because other people do it, not my fault. They started to self-blame, self-harm, not really self-harm lah, but stop myself from growing because of this emotion. That's why, personally, I feel emotions is something that's very important, that we need to know how to use it.
Yes.
It's the same as I give you money. Do you know how to use money? That's another story all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think internally we need to build up ourselves. Right? So, in the future episodes, I think we will cover more in depth into specific emotions,
Yep.
how to use them, how to break free from all this, and how to take back your power.
I think the one takeaway that we can have from this episode is, since we are talking about learning how to process emotions and manage emotions, I think tonight, today, or any time in the near future and subsequently, whenever you start to feel a certain emotion, be it happiness, sadness, anger, anxiety, excitement, or whatsoever, right? Just kind of ask yourself, why am I feeling this, and why am I going through this, or what has led me to feel this, and try to identify like, oh, happiness, how does it feel like? Oh, I feel like very euphoric, lightheaded. This is happiness, and recognize the emotion. So at least then you get familiar with what it is, and then subsequently in our upcoming episodes, when we speak more about it, then you will get a better understanding of what we are driving at as well.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, right, I think one thing that we all can do right now, the most practical thing moving forward, okay, take out a piece of paper. Okay, this whole process, I need you all to be very honest with yourself. Okay, list out what are the constructive emotions that you have, what are the destructive emotions that you have, right? And then from there, just be aware of it. Okay, if you know that it's really destructive, then recognize the emotion, put it aside first. Okay, do what you need to do. Okay, and as we discuss further in the future podcasts, in the future episodes, then you have a better idea on how to break free, how to deal with certain emotions. Okay, when I say break free, right, it's really breaking free from all the destructive cycles in your life. Okay, and how we can become a better version of ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, and improve from there. Because life is not always stagnant. It's not always peaceful, right? And that is what we want to achieve into becoming better and better and better. Okay?
Yes.
So, if you have not like, follow, subscribe, or even share, okay, click on any of the buttons below, okay, on this line, below this line, okay. Do us a favor, do your friends a favor, those you think you need to listen to this message on how to use their emotions, do share with them. Okay, and we hope to see you in our future episodes. So with that, bye-bye. Bye.